Good morning all and welcome to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'm Nat and this is a Knackers Yard. You can tell I've been busy and frustrated because I've not put tools away, which is horrible for me. I hate doing that. But and there's sawdust everywhere because of an oil spill. So it does actually look like a Knackers Yard. So what, by way of catch up on this cantankerous sod that is the Frankenbike or the SV650, I've still got all the electrics unplugged. My original idea was that something in that speedo, which I know is faulty and I've had a refund for, was just draining the battery. That led me to all sorts of issues, including and the fact that the starter motor wouldn't turn over at all. That's had fresh brushes on it. I still have a new starter solenoid en route, but it doesn't need it because I did get it started yesterday, jumping it from the car. Then put the battery on and no joy. Then off camera put the car back on, still no joy. Doesn't look like I'm getting spark, or it didn't look like I'm getting spark. So let's see. I'll just plonk you there and see if I can still get the same reaction, bearing in mind that it's not super cold in here, but it does seem to just destroy my battery. So my starter motor is working again. I know it hasn't got a side sense with it, but out of force of habit. Yeah, that's pretty much where I thought it was. Right, I'm going to take the tank off, which takes seconds now, and have a look and start digging into the sparks a little bit. In fact, I'll show you how easy this is now, or how accustomed I've got to it. Vacuum hose off, fuel holes is always a bit of a bitch. Come on, you swine. And that's the reason why I've not really been using a external tank or secondary tank on it, because it's relatively short shift work. Just whip the proper tank off it. Just holding that fuel up. That's what's been dropping everywhere and making a mess. Right now. Fuel in it, so it's not going to kick through, but there should be some in the carbs. Right, the problem or the difficulty I have is in a V-twin, the recess for the sparks is really deep and too deep for my tools, so I'm going to have to try and find a bastardised way. In fact, what I might do, I've got some spare sparks kicking around. I'll have a quick check to see what it takes, see if I've got anything close. Just jam one in the end there. Alright, so just a spanner on the top of that and that come out. Pair of needle nose to fish it out once it was out. Where are you, camera? Whoop. Concentrate, camera, here we go. And there we go. That's really quite burnt, so it's been running rich one way or another. Right, let's see if I can get any spark. Right, let's see if we've got any spark going here. Bearing in mind it did before, so I'm slightly perplexed. Yeah. You can see a lot of compression going on, but no spark at all. Okay, let's have a little bit of a dig. Right, so I've ended up being a little bit more thorough than I initially intended. I wanted to do a coolant flush at some point, which is how I justify taking the radiator off. That front spark is just a bugger to get to on V-twins. You can just push the radiator out a little bit. You basically undo the housing bolts for it, which you can kind of see. Where are we? Here, one on this side, one on the other side, and one on the bottom there. and it gives you just enough space to get around the back of there, but really not long enough for me to get my my spark plug remover in there. And frankly, it's kecked up there. You can see just how kecked up it is, so I couldn't get the plug out. Probably could have done, but I would have ended up just taking the skin off the back of my knuckles again, which seems to take very over the heel. And because I needed to do a coolant flush at some stage, so I just whipped the radiator off complete. So that's carbs off, radiator off. Bearing in mind that this was running yesterday, it's now completely and utterly off the road again. Right, I'm just going to try and get that spark plug out and see whether or not I've got any spark at the front as well. And then have a bit of a think, because I don't think both coils would have gone at the same time. Cool. Right, and aside from confusing my camera because it can't work out what kind of focus on, another rich runner, slightly tarnished, but nothing fundamentally wrong with it. Do the clean, obviously. Right, so that's the spark back in. The spark, he says laughingly. The non-sparking spark, I don't think. Let's just whip your power on, go for the noise button. I got worried then because the throttle was loose, there's no carb in it. Can't find the button from behind. There we go. Electricity to the bishop. Right. So there is nothing on there. I might do a compression test while we're here. Nope, cancel that great idea. I just plugged it in. I thought, I can't give it throttle, can I? I've got no carburetor on it. Oh well. Oh shit. Cool. Right, so what next? Logically, for both of those to go at the same time, sparked coils, no. I mean, there was a pop, but there's so many pops and backfires on this while it settles itself down, I've no idea. I'm going to try chasing through the side stand switch. I know it's snipped at the bottom, but I don't know where else it goes. I'll see if I can track that through. I think clutch switch is snipped anyway, so it's snipped at the top there, so somewhere down there it's snipped through as well. Oh well, let's have a bit of a dig. Why you charge? So chasing through the potential, obviously it's been snipped or pulled off at there. The closest I can come to those two colours, which I think is a brown and a, I don't know, maybe black stripe, difficult to tell, is that. Whoa, is that. So again, this is all jammed under the battery, and we're in the battery housing now. When it's in, that would reach and looks like a good candidate. So I'll try unplugged. Yeah. I'm getting good spin off that starter motor now, sort of those bristles. I'm just plugging it back in, or attempting to, and I've redone the twist on it, which should be good enough to get a connection. Still absolutely a feck all. Right, let me continue examining. Right, that's me thoroughly confused again. This bike is just doing my sward in. I don't think I've ever had anything resist me quite so much, or confuse me quite so much actually. I'm sure that is the side stand switch. It's just too coincidental that it reaches and it naturally points down and all of that sort of shite. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll check the coils probably throughout the week, take them off and just give them a bit of a continuity test and the like. But I can't believe they both pop at the same time, unless of course I hadn't been thinking of that it was only running off one and that last one's just gone. which is a possibility, I suppose. And in fact, the more I think about it, that was unplugged ages ago when I first got it. And I don't know if I accidentally knocked it off when I was putting the airbox on. So maybe it was only ever running off one cylinder. Really difficult to tell with a single exhaust. And I certainly wasn't sticking my hands on exhaust to see if they were warm, which I probably should have done. I might be talking myself into that. Situating the appreciation. Yeah, okay, confusing me. I'll have a bit of a think and a bit of a look around, but what I'm going to do now is just tuck her away. I'm probably going to, yeah, I'll have a bit of a sweep up in here first because it's minging. And then that'll do me for the day. I'll do a bit of interneting, but if you've got any suggestions, please feel free to bang them at the bottom. Yeah. What I can also do while everything's off is free up that sodding throttle again. We'll see if I can. Right. Yeah. Epoxy thing just fighting me all the way, this one. And with nothing obvious. But I know the starter's fine. I know the battery's fine. I am slowly but surely working my way through things that I know that are fine, and eventually I'll find the things that aren't. That's just the way of these things, isn't it? Right, what I'm going to do is be very careful not to lose any of the bolts that I've taken out, keep it all together, have a tidy up, just so I'm not stepping on everything every 3 seconds. Yeah, a bit of an uneventful one, this one. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, have a tidy up, and then start up that XS650 just to make myself feel better. I had planned to go through the electric starter. Let's go check it out actually. I had planned to go through the electric starter on it this weekend, but when I popped to Halfords to grab some oil for it, it takes 20 weight or 2040, and they didn't have any in stock, didn't have any on the shelves. I don't know if it's old that doesn't get used anymore, so I've ordered some and it will be here for next weekend. But yeah, I did want to take that off and start messing around with the gears, with a starter gear, but I haven't had the opportunity because I haven't got the oil to replace it. And I hate doing things without having the ability to check them straight off. So yeah, a video to follow. Well, the Hero's still going strong. Yeah, Hero's still going strong. Haven't done any of the paintwork, not really touched it. I was just running it up there just to keep it ticking over more than anything else. I did notice one thing though, which is a little bit strange. Unlike every other bike that I've ever seen, the actual handlebar stems aren't attached to the top yoke. They're actually, there's a rubber bushel through it. I was just hoiking it around thinking, well, that's a bit strange, that moves. Do I need to tighten that up? I think it's just to stop the vibrations getting to your hands. Cool. Anyway, that'll do me for today. I might have a bit of a tinker tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be a great deal. Yeah, I'm perplexed by this. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for the coils. Oh, I'll price them up first, see how much they are. It is incredibly unusual / unlikely / not going to happen that they both went at the same time. However, I think I have pretty much talked myself into the possibility that it was previously running off one and one went. Yeah. Oh well, I'll have a think and I'll do a bit of shockage. That's me. I hope you've enjoyed the lack of progress today. Continues to fight me. Catch you later on.